In the heart of a bustling city lived a man named Thomas. He was like any other. He had dreams, goals, and an innate desire to make a difference in the world. But life had a way of crafting unexpected challenges, and one by one, Thomas found himself faltering under their weight. Initially, he was brimming with ambitions. His dream was to start a non-profit organization that would support underprivileged children, providing them with education and opportunities. He spent years working hard, saving money, and implementing plans, fueled by that ever-so-delicate flicker of hope. But then, life threw a series of curveballs his way. A family illness, unexpected job loss, and financial troubles left him feeling like he was drowning. With each wave crashing down, he began to question the fabric of his dreams. One morning, after yet another sleepless night spent worrying about the future, Thomas looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back at him. The twinkle had faded from his eyes, replaced by a deep-set weariness. The dreams he once held so tightly now felt burdensome, almost like chains tethering him to a ground he yearned to escape. "Maybe it's time to let go," he whispered to himself, allowing that notion to seed doubt into his heart. His days began to blend into one another, consumed by a relentless routine filled with mundane tasks. Each day felt like walking through a fog, and with every passing moment, he mounted walls around himself. Friends reached out, but he avoided conversations, masking his pain behind practiced smiles. He had given up on himself. He had given up on love, the love of life, of dreams, and even the love of others who desperately wanted to help him. Time trudged on, and with it, a nagging feeling began to fester. On one particularly gray afternoon, Thomas found himself aimlessly wandering through a local park, lost in a labyrinth of thoughts. As he strolled, he noticed a group of children playing, their laughter bursting forth like confetti in the air. In their eyes, he recognized a reflection of who he once was, a boy filled with dreams, hope, and boundless possibility. For an instant, he felt a rise of emotion. A flicker of that old belief surged through him, only to be met with waves of despair. "What happened to you?" he asked himself. "Where did your hope go?" At that moment, an elderly woman approached him, a warm smile gracing her weathered face. She seemed to see something beyond the surface. "You know, dear," she said gently, "each of us carries our battles silently, but dreams don't have expiration dates. It's never too late to believe again." The sincerity in her words reverberated within him, awakening something long buried. He found himself caught in a moment of vulnerability. "But I've lost everything," he replied, his voice tinged with pain. "What you call everything may just be the foundation upon which you build anew," she said. "Sometimes, the most profound growth comes from the ashes of what we have lost. Believe me when I say that giving up is merely a choice that can be altered." Thomas felt compelled to listen as the woman spoke of her own struggles, her own times of despair where hope had dimmed but ultimately was reignited through small acts of self-love and endeavor. "The world is not without kindness," she said, "and sometimes allowing yourself to be vulnerable is the first step to finding strength." Her words were like a gentle nudge, prodding the depths of his soul. It reminded Thomas of the essence of who he was and who he still could be. After she took her leave, he sat on a park bench, the children's laughter ringing in his ears, contemplating her profound wisdom. Perhaps it was time to dust off his dreams, brush them against the winds of change, and give them a second chance. The next day, he opened his notebook, the one filled with ideas and aspirations he had long forgotten. He read through his plans for the nonprofit and felt a rush of nostalgia combined with new resolve. With every word he penned anew, he felt a spark igniting within, a flicker of hope lighting up the darkened corners of his heart. It wasn't a matter of what he had lost, but rather about what he was willing to rediscover. He decided it was time to take action. He sought out volunteers, shared his vision, and soon found an outpouring of support. The community responded, invigorated by his rekindled passion. The seemingly insurmountable obstacles he once saw became stepping stones toward his goals. He began to learn and adapt, building connections with others who shared a vision of kindness and compassion. With each small success, a semblance of confidence began to return. He hosted fundraising events, and slowly, the nonprofit morphed from a dream into a living, breathing entity. As he stood before a group of children during the inaugural ceremony, witnessing their bright smiles and eager faces, Thomas realized that he had not just revived his dreams. He had reignited hope, not only for himself but for those around him too. Life became vibrant once more. He learned that giving up on oneself is sometimes merely a pause, a moment of reflection rather than an endpoint. He embraced the struggles that came with running an organization, valuing them as lessons rather than roadblocks. And in doing this, he discovered something truly priceless. Within each challenge lay an opportunity, not just for growth, but also for connection, compassion, and the nurturing of dreams. As he lay in bed one night reflecting on his journey, Thomas smiled softly. He had begun to believe in love again, the love for life, for dreams, and the indomitable spirit of hope. The echoes of the elderly woman's wisdom lingered. It's never too late to believe again. He realized that every day offered a canvas, waiting for him to paint his joys, sorrows, aspirations, and triumphs. The world is indeed a complicated tapestry woven with dreams, struggles, and connections. And in this narrative, we are reminded that embracing our imperfections, our losses, and our vulnerabilities is what truly shapes us. Belief in oneself often emerges from the willingness to rise, even after moments of deep despair. In the story of Thomas, we find the universal truth that it is never too late to turn the page, to breathe life into forgotten dreams, and to rekindle self-belief. Each of us carries within the potential for renewal and greatness, waiting for the moment we choose to awaken. So, let Thomas's journey inspire you. Remember that within the folds of your struggles lie the seeds of triumph. Don't give up on yourself. Believe, love, dream, and keep moving forward. For the world awaits the brilliance only you can offer. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, embrace vulnerability, and understand that hope is not a frail candle, but an eternal flame waiting to be reignited. The power to improve and transform your life lies within you. So take the brave step to embrace it wholeheartedly.